What, what needs to happen in order for classical music, including contemporary classical music, to be as popular as, for example, professional sports?
Oh, yeah.
This is a big question.
This is a big question. It's very relevant.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. First of all, I don't really think that classical music ever will be
That's right.
or should be as popular as something like professional sport.
Right.
Not to say that it's an elite niche market,
Right.
but much like other artistic pursuits, it is generally a smaller audience. If the question really means how to make what we do more universal, then I think we both have a lot of ideas in that aspect. For me, I've always thought when people say, classical music isn't for me, I always kind of, I don't really agree with them because I think that I don't think that classical music, if you want to call everything that we do classical music, I don't think that that's ever been a problem for anyone. I think that, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, it's really about the experience, about how you sit down in a room. I think it's very, very foreign for most people to walk into a large, dark room with velvety chairs, sit down and quietly face forward and watch a performance take place. That's not really what we do in this day and age in any other aspect. And so it's got its good points because I think we're all a little bit all over the place. We've got so many different stimuli, right? So it's nice to be able to sit and enjoy something purely that way. However, I think that maybe changing the experience, the way that we experience classical music is the way to do it. And I think we definitely feel that by talking to an audience, you can really engage with them. I also think that just plain old distance, you feel much more relatable, as a performer, if your audience can see you and your face as opposed to this sort of person off in the distance. So those are things that I think. I don't think it'll ever be as popular as where I come from, Rough Riders football or something like that. And that's fine. I think that's fine. But I think that more people like it than no. And it's always nice when we have a bigger audience. So we'll keep experimenting.
Yeah, I think, you mentioned velvet chairs and sitting down, and, where else is that done? But the thing is, it does happen at any movie theater.
Movie theaters,
right?
Yeah.
Movie theaters, people do, people laugh if it's funny and whatnot, and they might gasp if it's scary, but for the most part, people are ashamed if they're making a lot of noise in movie theaters, but no one really thinks about, that's a really strong parallel. The difference, the very obvious among other differences, is that visually there's a lot going on. It's the main reason they go there. And so for me, what I think needs to happen in order to get back interest in people or to develop new interest or renew the interest in classical music, I think, among other things, it's about reigniting people's imaginations. It's just that everything these days is being handed to everybody on a silver platter. It's like no one's being asked to think for themselves so much, and to imagine so much anymore. Everything is search for this, find it online there, print this out.
You can tell just from the language of novels. Contemporary novels are really quite straightforward.
Yeah.
So florid before.
That's right.
Yeah, so I don't know. You're right.
So for me, I think what's really lacking and what can really help, again, it's not about becoming as popular as professional sports. It's about what can help create and develop and nurture, attentive audiences and make rewarding experiences for listeners, to make classical music rewarding for people as much as possible. I think it's about reigniting imaginations and asking people to listen and say, use your use this.
This brain matter, it has a purpose. Remember that? Yeah, absolutely.
It was the same thing for me. Like, I don't know for you, it's like for so long I was in music and I couldn't really have cared less in so much as I liked that people clapped when I played loud and fast and everything, and that was fun. But beyond that, I didn't understand what was going on. And it wasn't until I really began to say, till images and things would take shape in my brain, I said, oh, okay, I see this can be anything I want it to be, And
it requires patience.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
We can work on that as a society.